Hello everyone and welcome to the Void Between Reality and the Land of Hackin' Nerds. My name is Brian, aka of the Void, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Alpha Trion. And yeah, before I start, thank you guys for bearing with me. It's just been a techno nightmare recently with the computer. Basically, the processor died on me, and it was causing crashes and slowdowns and whatnot, and I wasn't able to get the majority of my files off, and I completely forgot about the memory cards for the PS2 emulator. So we might have to start from scratch on Let's Plays or go to different games. I apologize. But thank you for bearing with me. I hate missing videos. Trust me, it's not something that I do out of, that I don't like making them. I do. But thank you guys so much for sticking through with me. And hopefully, I'm just going to come out and say it. Hopefully the bullshit is done. Like, I would like the bullshit to be over with life. Like, can we have a distinct lack of bullshit for a while? But anyway, here we go. This is, actually, let me just adjust this just a little bit. This is Alpha Trion, the next of the Primes to come out of Legacy of the Primes. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty damn good figure. I am pleasantly surprised with this figure. So first things first, we will give you the customary look. Noggin. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the head sculpt is pretty darn perfect. That is very much his G1 head. And yeah, they kind of hit it out of the park with the head sculpt. Head sculpt is good. Good head sculpt. Going into posability. He actually does have a decent amount of posability. So first things first, the head is sort of on this nodder joint. That's more or less for transformation, but it is nice to have it. He can look back that far, down that far, and the head can do a full 360. Rotation at the shoulders, hinge outward, bend at the elbow. No hand articulation, which is unfortunate for something I'll show in a minute. Do wish this had some wrist articulation. Because of the transformation, if you unpeg this section back here, he has a pretty darn good ab crunch. He can crunch, he can't look up. Oh, he can actually, I forgot about that. He can look decently back, but he can do a very nice ab crunch. As you might see, rotation, just have to peg on this. Rotation at the waist. It's on a mushroom peg. Mushroom peg. Mushroom peg. Luckily, these are double mushroom pegs, which lowers the chance of these constantly breaking off or constantly sliding out, but it is still mushroom pegs, and mushroom pegs are the tools of Unicron, so be careful with it. Can't the hip skirts move out of the way so you can get a kick forward that far. Can't really go back all that far without trying to get some of the kibble out of the way. But he can go back that far, can do the splits, and then he does have an ankle pivot and a little bit of toe articulation. I said a little bit of toe Oh, I forget, that's primarily for transformation, unfortunately. One sec. I thought it moved independently, but it doesn't. As for accessories, he does come with a few. One he can use is you can come under here and pull off this kibble slice. And then you can fold it out like that. And then that will peg loosely. Oh, wait. Did I do that wrong? Oh, I did do that wrong. My bad. how did I do this? You can, okay, that's how it worked. That will peg loosely onto there. I really can't figure out a good way to get this little drone to pose or to get on his arm. They really didn't do a good job explaining it in the instructions, unfortunately. And that'll peg right back there. And then he comes with his relics. He has this quill, which he will use to write in the Covenant of Primus. This is the book of all of the history of the Transformers. It has all the recorded names of the Autobots, yada, yada, yada. And he can hold these. There's a peg here that will fit into his wrist. And then you can slot the quill like so. And you can kind of get him into a I'm writing in my book pose. But this is where I do wish there was wrist rotation. Oh, well. But yeah, now to go into pose, or not pose, but transformation. The transformation is rather intuitive and kind of smart in my opinion. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to push his head all the way back and unpeg that. And then we're going to take this blue piece, open the cockpit, and we're just going to fold that up and over his head, and then we can slap that down. Then we're going to come to the arms and pose them out so he can T-pose for dominance and fold in his fists. Then we're going to come to the legs, turn them around, fold in the heel and fold down the toe. I said fold down the toe like that. Then we can do some pegs here, and there's a little slot connection there. We can slot his legs together like so. Then we're going to come to this area, and we're going to, sometimes a little easier said than done, take this purple bit and just fold it out or up and out. Sometimes the legs like to come undone. Okay. Then we're going to turn this 180, come to the cockpit section. We're going to take these panels and fold them out and down. Then we're going to take this whole assembly, and there are some tabs in there that are going to go into these tabs here. And we're going to fold the torso like that. And this will come and snap nicely into place. Then we're going to take the arms, turn them. And there's a tab slot there and a tab there, and that's just going to go in here like that. And then that little gray peg will just rest in that section there. Do the same on the other side, like so. Then we're going to come to the bottom of the figure, take this section, fold these out. And then there's a tab here and a slot there. And we're just going to fold these up. And those will slot into place. Same on the other side. I said same. Oh, okay, 1 minute. Okay, there you go. And then those will snap. Although this side sometimes, that's the reason that arm came undone. And then that should slot in. Sometimes it doesn't like to say. But there you go. There you have Alpha Trion in his spaceship mode. And guys, this is pretty good spaceship mode. I do really like this spaceship mode. Doesn't have any wheels or anything, but it does the job. It does the job as Alpha Trion's Cybertronian spaceship mode. And it's fairly clean. You like that? Again, I give leeway to Cybertronian modes because they're not robots in disguise. It's fast travel mode. And then you can store these accessories. You can take the book, and there's a tab slot here and a tab right there. and that will slot in like so. And then you can take the quill, and there's a little tab on either side of the little winglets here, and that will plug into the quill. And you have nice out-of-the-way weapon storage, which we like. We like out-of-the-way weapon storage. But yeah, it's a darn good spaceship mode. Do really like this mode. Okay, we're going to go back into robot mode, and then I'll give my final thoughts on the figure. So first, we'll pull off the accessories. Then we'll take these sections and unpeg them. And just slot them together like that. Then we'll come to the arms and unpeg the arms and fold them out. Then we will unpeg the sort of fuselage of the spaceship. Take these panels, turn them around like so and like so. Then we can take the waist or the chest, turn it up and turn it around. And we can come to the legs, fold these purple sections in, split. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention mushroom pegs. Again, double mushroom pegs, so I'm less worried about them, but again, why? So we can unpeg the legs and turn them around. Then we can fold the feet in. And what I like to do, the easiest way to get the heels out is to just take the quill and just poke them right there, and then those will come out nicely. And we could stand the figure up. I'll raise the camera just a tad. Then we'll take the arms, fold them down, and bring out the fists. Then we'll open up the cockpit here, take this blue piece, swing that down, put that on the back, collapse that in, and then we can fold out the head, and we'll give him his book and his pen, which is mightier than the sword. And there you go. There you have Alpha Trion. I don't know why I came up with Solus there. Alpha Trion back in his robot mode. Final thoughts on the figure. Do I recommend this figure? Abso-frickin-lutely I do. This is a fantastic figure. They did a really good job. Again, it's in the Voyager size class, which I think the Prime should be Voyager or above. And because of that, we have extra clearance room, so you can have a little bit more of a complicated transformation, although this one is pretty straightforward. Is he better than Megatronus the Fallen? No. Megatronus the Fallen remains my favorite of the Prime so far. I just think that figure is far and above one of the best released this year, but this guy is definitely a very, very close second. Do really enjoy this figure. I would definitely pick this up. Even if you aren't collecting all the Primes, I guess if you have the Alpha Trion from Legacy, maybe not get it, but I wouldn't pass on this figure. This is a great figure. So yeah, there you guys go. There is your Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Alpha Trion. I am asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my links down below for all the places you can find me and support me. And remember, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Be curious, be playful, and above all else, be kind. And I will see you next time.